everybody can see me. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, how's it going, everyone? Jared Fowler here, coming to you live from the great state of Texas for another edition of NHL 19. And if some of you seen my previous videos, I have included the Allen Americans in the National Hockey League as an expansion team. And going on year 2 in franchise mode, taking on the Colorado Avalanche, my good friend Secchart the Gamer, his favorite team out of Colorado. I hope you've all enjoyed the Stanley Cup playoffs this season. It's been a great round so far, especially with my team, the Dallas Stars, one win away from advancing to the second round. So today, I'm going to let Doc and Eddie call the game, but I will commentate and talk a little bit about hockey here in the playoffs, as well as the one league that probably nobody's ever heard of. It's called the Federal Hockey League, and it's a very big controversial league up in the Northeast right now, and they're in there called the Commissioner's Cup Finals between the Carolina Thunderbirds and the Elmira Enforcers. And I've been following Bus League Hockey on Twitter.
Coming up in just a moment. I'm Mike Emmerich.
But there was a big controversial finish last night. The Carolina Thunderbirds, best of 3 series, they took a 1-0 series lead in overtime against the Elmira Enforcers. And Elmira, New York, formerly the home of the Elmira Jackals of the ECHL, but now they have an FHL team called the Enforcers, and they're in the finals, the best record in the league. And a big controversial goal that gave the Carolina Thunderbirds the win last night. And Bus League Hockey posted a video on Twitter of the opposing team walking by a little fan bar there called the Nest, where people can purchase beer or whatnot and stand up by the boards and watch the game. And as they were exiting the ice, someone squirted a bottle of water at the opposing Elmira goaltender, and then he attacked that same fan, which knocked a couple of people into the wife of the Carolina Thunderbirds owner, who did suffer some injuries. She was dragged and trampled in that melee that followed. I think the big question is, the FHL is full of controversy, big controversial plays in there, players that have come out of that league. And it is a low single A hockey. Minor league hockey, just like the SPHL, the Southern Professional Hockey League, who are currently in their playoffs.
Allen's on a nice little winning streak here. They've won some games where they've played well. They've also won a couple where they haven't played.
But a lot of people have never heard of the Federal Hockey League. It's only comprised of 5 teams in that league. They've gained some teams. They're getting another team next year in Danville. They had a team in Danville called the Titans, or Danbury. I believe it's Danbury that's going to get the new team. They formerly home of the Danbury Titans. They also have the Danville Dashers, Carolina Thunderbirds, the Elmira Jackals, and the Watertown Wolves. They won last season's Commissioner's Cup. But there are some former NHL players in there as well. Or former Texas Stars forward Francis Wattier is currently playing with the Carolina Thunderbirds. But that is a low-level minor league hockey. A lot of what people call beer league hockey, like they have in Saskatchewan. And a lot of featuring a lot of fights in that league. I think the big question is, will the Elmira goaltender, there were some officials, also he always pushed an official, a linesman last night, as well as the Elmira head coach. He got into it with some officials arguing that call on the ice. Both benches emptied, and then there were some players that had to be separated. But of course, the biggest controversy of the night involved the owner of the Carolina Thunderbirds being knocked to the ground by the Enforcers goaltender. And now the big question is, a lot of people are calling for the Elmira Enforcers to be expelled from the Federal Hockey League, or at least the goaltender be banned from ever playing the league again. Man, I didn't see the controversial goal. There was a video posted, but the feed of the video wasn't very. It was very blurry. I wasn't able to make out the puck or the goal light. The ref did signal the goal as soon as the goal light flashed, at the exact same time as the goal light came on. But the goal was reviewed. It was upheld. And in the Federal Hockey League, they have best of 3. So they play another game, I believe, tomorrow. Tonight or tomorrow, I can't remember. But Carolina Thunderbird's Elmira Enforcers. This is the Enforcers' second year in the league. And Carolina Thunderbirds have won the title just a couple of years ago. Be interesting to see. There is an investigation ongoing. Be interesting to see how that pans out. Will there be repercussions? I mean, the wife of the Thunderbirds owner she decided not to pursue charges against the Elmira goaltender. Now, I understand that. I mean, I can see it from both ends. I mean, yes, he shouldn't have. A player should never ever interact with spectators. A player at any level. And we have certainly seen that in the past in the NHL.
Brought on, and the forwards can change on this dump in.
But at the same time, I mean, your team just won. I mean, why squirt him with a water bottle? I mean, that's poor sportsmanship on the Carolina Thunderbirds fans. Whoever the fan was that squirted him with a water bottle, he knows better. He should have known better than that. I mean, I really can't blame the Elmira Enforcers goaltender for being angry. Best thing to do is just let it go, walk it off. I mean, you don't know if the guy was intoxicated. You don't know what happens. We don't know the whole story, folks, and it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. But I'm following Bus League Hockey on Twitter, and
the Americans have it along the side at mid-ice.
He writes some very interesting stories.
Able to attack now.
As well as I also follow Hockey Problems, Southern Hockey Problems on Twitter. And as I've mentioned in my previous broadcast, I have read Zamboni Rodeo by Austin native Jason Cohen against the Austin Ice Bats for the WPHL, the now defunct WPHL. But there's another read that Southern Hockey Problems, the owner of that account, has gotten another book, like Hockey Night in Dixie, I believe that's the name of the book, but I'm looking to get that one as well. Talks a little bit about hockey in Texas, the big hockey boom of 1996.
Fowler's been real sharp early in this game. He's made some difficult stops.
Well, I'm playing the Avalanche here. Nothing here. Let's see. 308. This is year 2 of the Allen Americans in the NHL.
Good face-off win.
Made it to, did not win the President's Trophy as I finished second.
Trying to go to Cologne.
Finished second to, I believe, the San Jose Sharks, who won the President's Trophy.
Up the wing. All right, it's brought ahead and dumped back into the
And I was eliminated in 7 games in the second round by the Winnipeg Jets. So here I am in year 2. They redid their uniforms.
Lets a shot go. Oh, what a terrific block.
New jerseys.
Moving it to Berglund.
New alternate jerseys.
It's dumped in.
And I like it to where you can create your own arena.
Shoots one. That one went off his mask.
And I really like it to where they allow you to change up a team's uniforms in the offseason.
You can't deliver the puck much better than that, but the goalie says no chance. That's an excellent save.
Well, I hope everybody had a good Easter. Of course, I spent my Easter weekend at work. But you got to pay the bill somehow, right? I mean, happy Easter to all my friends out there on Twitter. Hope everyone had a great weekend.
Took that draw and won it. Gives it on across from the point.
There we go.
And that's his first of the season.
1-0 Americans.
His chances and finally cashes in for goal number 1.
22.3 seconds left in the first period. Got the Americans up 1-0. Adam Larson, 1938, his first goal of the season.
Man, they jumped up in a hurry on the bench beside me, guys. That last-minute goal is one that'll pump adrenaline through them.
You know, my birthday was on March 28th, about almost a month ago, and I got some cash for my birthday from my family, and with my birthday money I was able to purchase PlayStation VR, and I will later on, won't be today, but later on, probably close to the weekend, I will stream me playing Ace Combat 7. And for those of you who don't VR, I encourage you to get one. It is an unbelievable experience. And I do have VR games, compatible games, which is Ace Combat 7. The other is Drive Club. And both of those games are just unbelievably good.
Larson's goal came late in the period, and that has meant the difference so far. Intermission is here.
So Americans up 1-0. Take a look at the stats here. Pretty even here. 5-2 on the face-offs. No penalties yet. About to start period number 2 here.
Second period about to begin here. Let's take a look back at the first. What stuck out for you?
The Avs are down in this game, Doc, and rightfully so. They did not manage the puck at all. If they want to get back in that game, they got to eliminate.
Avalanche win the draw.
First face-off of period 2. A rocket. Got that.
There we go. Go left side. Got myself as the goalie for the Allen Americans. Some players I created as well.
That puck is loose on good defensive play. Directing that one to Coles. Chip to Lee.
Anders Lee, good acquisition in the offseason. Here's Rob Hartnell. And not able to get it past Varlamov.
Free puck off an offender. That roadblock was set up. Back to the point.
Oh, blocked that one.
Perfect tip by the stick. And a save. He holds on.
Good save by Varlamov.
What a shift here, Doc. They have the momentum, but the goalie gets the whistle, and they'll need to reset.
Goalies have to make a half a dozen great stops in a win. This is one on a beautiful move, but there is nowhere for the puck to go.
The puck's dropped, and that's a great job tying the man up on that faceoff. The Americans control the play in their own end. Many yards gained.
Where was I going on that one? Don't.
Pass attempt to Killorn.
Had to reset there.
Crosses that line.
Wasn't happy with the offense I was trying to set up.
Has it back deep. Laid on to Kerfoot. Slid to Yakupov. Back in his defensive end to get it. Allen's in the neutral zone along the wing. Wrister. Save. Moves it to the corner. Scooped up by Barry. Headed right under the shadow of the scoreboard. Quick wrist shot.
There we go. Good block.
Shot block.
Change the defense off.
Good shooting play.
Oh, off the post.
Off the post. Colorado's in their own end, carrying it on. Brings it in for an attack.
Look out.
Gathered up again by McGinn. Allen's carrying on up the wing. Did not get anything out.
Tried to do a one-timer there. Sent that one wide.
Fires. He had a great
Thought that was in there.
But he has just missed the net.
Tried to be too
Not quite.
That puck is delivered right on the tee for him. He pounds it, and it's wide of the net.
Takes it in from the neutral zone. Shot on.
There you go.
Save. Snapping a pass to McGinn. It's dumped in. Varlamov's able to step out and play it. Colorado's lugging it along in the defensive zone.
Here we go.
Pitching this one to Landeskog. Lets it go. Outstanding offense met by solid goaltending. The Avs continue to probe up the wing. Is able to move on in. Stole that pass at the critical end of the ice.
Well, 1-2.
The Americans with a neutral zone possession along the wing. That one
Can't
right
buy a goal.
off his head. A solid job with the pads. Play halt. No
Good long shift there.
in this place tonight. I love the atmosphere. Eddie, what are your thoughts?
At some point, you're going to need your fans because the way the game is going, you know you're going to need that support.
Allen's quick on the draw.
There we go, Kungo.
And sent
Trying
down
to set this one up.
Lots on that to Giordano. Couldn't make it through. Can't retain possession. That shot
Not quite.
came from right in front.
The shooter thought he had a chance, but the goaltender robs him. What a stop.
Colorado's got a defensive zone win. Soderberg's carrying it through center. Can start the attack going in the zone. Snaps a wrister. May not have been intentional, but he got it anyway. And he shoots. Great save. Holds on and gets that whistle. Just over 5 minutes remaining here in the period. Only one goal hanging on the board so far. So it's 1-0. Shoot! That puck was obstructed by a screen. Gains the zone and looks over his options. Got a piece of that one.
Check it.
Did not go very well that time. Loose puck. Dogged determination there by Braun. Smart recovery by Barry. Great defensive play with the stick. From the outside, he scores. That's his first goal this year.
And Colorado just tied it up.
Working extremely hard, and that work has finally paid off as he gets goal number 1 on the season.
JT Comper with his first goal of the season, 17-15.
Well, I guess this game's not
just tied it up here.
That goal ties it. The teams are so evenly matched.
Looks like right through the 5-hole. Yep, right through the 5-hole. 1-1 here in the second period.
Colorado's done a remarkable job to fight back into a tie here.
2:45 left in the second period. 1-1. Comper, Dano, and Barry on the assist.
Solid win at center ice. Now what? Gains that offensive line. He's got that pass in the corner. Fires. Great
Glove save.
Grab.
And there is Brett Sagan, former Austin Ice Bat. A lot of this Americans team is former Ice Bats players that I created.
They won that battle in the dots. Lets it go.
And just took the lead right back.
That is his first.
2 defensemen scoring their first goals tonight.
This season, Doc. Let's see if this leads to a few more for him.
Justin Braun, 18-19 of the second period. First goal of the season.
Once you break it high, that you would sit back and try to protect the lead. I think you have to stay aggressive and play in the other end.
Just gave me a 2-1 lead.
The Americans have gotten a lead that they hope to take into the third, as long as they don't go into a shell. Colorado's got possession from the faceoff. The Avs skated up on the side. Shot on goal. Great point blank save.
Good save.
Great display of goaltending right there, Doc.
Terrific determination by Braun.
There we go.
Americans wheel one ahead up the wing. With a shot. Loose puck knocked away by Komarov. Takes that pass up the boards and stays. From a slaughter wrister. Not too difficult a shot.
You can't deliver the puck much better than that, but the goalie said no chance. That's an excellent save.
Beat him in the face-off circle. Now it's 10-6. And second period's over. Got a 2-1 lead.
Have been played. And so, as we think back through the first two, we think ahead toward the third.
Programs for tonight's game are available on the console, featuring complete player listings for both teams, player bios, and informative.
Braun's late period tally has made all the difference and will cause both coaches to say something.
2-1 Americans over the Avalanche at the end of 2. Take a look at the stats here. I went to my last Texas Stars game a couple weeks ago. Of course, the Stars did not make the playoffs this year after going all the way to the Calder Cup Finals last year and taking the top team in the league, the Toronto Marlies, to the brink. After the Marlies swept through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, Stars took them all the way to Game 7. Great series that was, but didn't end well for the Stars. A little disappointed, but I'm proud of the way they played. And I'm also proud of the way they played this season. I mean, they kind of messed around at the beginning of the year, but that's been sort of a pattern. And they come up a little bit short. They came down to the last game of the season, but the Wild, they couldn't catch the Iowa Wild the night before. And then on the night of their last game, the Milwaukee Admirals won to clinch the final playoff berth. So now it looks like the Stars are sitting home this year. But I'm looking forward to next season. They could get a pretty good team, a good up-and-coming team. Jake Ottinger, the Stars draft pick, played in the last couple of weeks of the season. Played very well. So I look for him to be back with the Texas Stars next season. Good up-and-coming goalie. Excuse me. Not quite awake yet, folks. Worked the last 4 days in a row, being to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Get one day off, and I'm back to the grind tomorrow. That's why I haven't been streaming much lately. I'm working 4 days out of the week instead of 3, 8-hour shifts.
To me, they were the way better team in the first.
Getting a little bit more rest.
They had a distinct advantage in the offense.
Fortunately, I had to work Easter weekend, but I was still able to spend it with my family. I got off at 2:30 yesterday.
Over again. Allen's in their own end, and they've got it.
Just makes me thankful for what I have, because I mean, I see patients in the hospital
Nice work by Hartnell.
that don't want to be there, or they're just sick and rather be at home with their families, but makes me thankful for this job that I have.
Sagan's point streak continues, guys. He has been so good with the puck, so creative, that it seems every game he's in the middle of everything happening offensively.
Just got to thank God for another day here on Earth, folks.
Got another win.
Of course, our prayers go out to Sri Lanka. The Easter Sunday bombings. Of course, the people of France with the Notre Dame Cathedral burning. A lot of history there, and I think they will rebuild it better than ever. Never had a chance to go see it, but hopefully, I've never really been out of the country.
That's going to happen. There's not a lot of
But there's some places that I would like to go to, and Paris is one of them. I wouldn't mind going to Canada. I mean, my wife has a aunt and uncle live in Manitoba, just on the outskirts of Winnipeg. They're big Jets fans, so good luck to the Jets in the postseason.
Fowler's been the one key reason that his team's been able to hold on to this lead.
But one place I really want to go is Toronto. I want to visit the old Maple Leaf Gardens in Loblaws. I mean, I've seen pictures of it. I mean, I think it's a great way to preserve a building that has so much history. And of course, Maple Leaf Gardens, it has its image on the Conn Smythe Trophy to the MVP of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
On to Yakupov.
But that's one place I really wanted to go, and I wouldn't mind going to Montreal to see the old Forum, which is now a movie theater.
Tries to get it on net. Another
But then,
solid pad
the
save.
thing that's really neat about Maple Leaf Gardens. I saw pictures of, there's old historic relics there, some old seats that were part of the garden. The old garden is made up into the shape of a maple leaf, the blue seats. And on the, of course, the bottom level's a parking garage. The second level, second and third level is Loblaws, which is equivalent to H-E-B grocery store here in Texas.
And he dumps it in.
Then the third level, you got Ryerson University
Looking to joust.
with their hockey rink up, playing their hockey team up there.
He throws it there. A terrific shot.
Colorado trying to tie the game here.
He's
Gonna go ahead and ice the puck.
Great save.
And this one is feathered back away by Berglund. Cleared down for ice.
But down one of the aisles, and I don't remember what the aisle number was, but it shows the big red dot in the middle of the floor, and that is where the center ice face-off circle used to be. And then in some of the, at the food court at Loblaws at Maple Leaf Gardens, their tables also have images of old newspaper clippings from the Toronto Maple Leafs back in the 20s and 30s.
Colorado's got that win.
Great players of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Doug Gilmour. But it's great to see that old hockey building, or like cathedrals like Maple Leaf Gardens in the Montreal Forum, were preserved and for later use,
The Americans in possession
instead of just sitting there rotting like some of the old arenas, old hockey rinks and old stadiums here in the United States. A good example of that is the Houston Astrodome. It's going to be converted for a multi-use facility, but you can just see it's just rotting away at itself.
Blocked off by Shen.
You know, like the Olympic venues in Athens, Greece, after the 2004 games, Sochi, after the Winter Games, some of those buildings are not in use today.
You can almost count that one, but no, what a save.
But for the cities of Toronto and Montreal to preserve those buildings, it's great. For future use, it's great to see it, that the buildings continue to stand. Oh, almost went in there. Almost took a 2-goal lead. Puck just short of the goal line. But you got like some of the old buildings here in the United States, like the Chicago Stadium and the old Boston Garden. Both were demolished in favor of the TD North Garden in Boston and the United Center in Chicago. And you had the old St. Louis Arena, the Checkerboard Arena, was also demolished. The Buffalo Auditorium, the Odd. Think of some great old hockey barns there. Yeah, the Winnipeg Arena, the old Winnipeg Arena was imploded. But then you got the Colisée de Quebec, sits unused, just adjacent to the brand new Videotron Center in Quebec. Hoping to get an NHL team there. Hopefully it will happen for Quebec soon. They deserve to have hockey there. Really big fan base, really big rivalry with the Montreal Canadiens. But the one I'm really pushing for is Houston. I mean, the Dallas Stars, it's the only team Houston and Texas has, but I think Houston, the 4th largest market in the United States, deserves to have a hockey team. And they have an arena ready, the Toyota Center, home of the Houston Rockets. They still have all the equipment for hockey. I think it's going to be perfect. I mean, you got the Arizona Coyotes up for sale. Hopefully, Rockets owner Tillman Fertitta, he is interested in bringing the NHL club to Houston. I think the Coyotes will be a perfect, with them moving over to the Central Division with the arrival of the new Seattle franchise. Look for Arizona to arrive in Houston. I mean, we have hockey. Well, we have other rivalries here in Texas, like we got the Cowboys-Texans rivalry, and of course the Rangers-Astros Major League Baseball rivalry. Then you got the Dallas Mavericks and the Houston Rockets. I think hockey, Dallas Stars versus Houston Aeros will be a great addition to the NHL as far as rivalry goes.
Picks it up in his own end.
But I think it's only a matter of time before Houston is awarded a franchise. Coming up on the conclusion of this game, Allen Americans lead the Colorado Avalanche 2-1 with 2:08 remaining.
Varlamov stretched out as far as he could go. He just got a chunk of that shot.
Of course, the Dallas Stars hosting the NHL Winter Classic in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl on the Texas State Fairgrounds. And that is hallowed grounds over there if you've ever been to the State Fair of Texas. Got Big Tex up there welcoming everyone.
He needed help, and he got it.
Then you got, when you think of State Fair of Texas, you think corn dogs. You think of fried everything. You know, fried Coke, fried ice cream, fried Oreos, fried peanut butter and jelly. And of course, the Cotton Bowl Stadium. The Texas OU rivalry.
On the outside, a shot. Terrific shot block.
Of course, the Cotton Bowl is used to be the Super Bowl of college football in the state of Texas. If you're an Aggie, Longhorn, Baylor Bear, TCU Horned Frog, back in the old Southwest Conference, you made the Cotton Bowl. It's like winning the Super Bowl. Of course, the Cotton Bowl is now part of the college football playoff. But if you ever have a chance to go to Dallas, come to the State Fair of Texas, go see the Cotton Bowl, and go cheer on the Dallas Stars. Going to add an empty net goal, take a 3-1 victory over the Avalanche. But soon, and hopefully very soon, Tillman Fertitta will be able to get a team in Houston. Because this Stars fan is ready for a Houston-Dallas hockey rivalry, and I think it's going to be intense. I mean, hockey is a very intense sport. I mean, look at the other rivalries in hockey. Of course, the Battle of Alberta, Calgary, and Edmonton. I mean, you got Pittsburgh, Washington, Pittsburgh versus Philadelphia, New Jersey Devils, New York Rangers. Great rivalries.
Face-off and a solid tie-up and help arrive. Good job. The Avs yank their goalie to try and get this back. That puck is loose. No luck getting
So last few seconds left in the third period. America's going to take the victory from the Avs.
Shoots. Wonderful work in goal.
Let's just get rid of the puck here.
Out to Larson.
And we'll just dump it, and that's going to be it.
And that's it. The game
Americans win it over the Avalanche 3-1.
Americans have another victory, and the winning streak continues to build.
This team has been hot as of late. They're following their game plan. It's resulting in wins.
That's it for another great night at a hockey rink. For Eddie and Ray, Doc saying good evening, everyone.
So final score, Allen Americans 3, Colorado Avalanche 1. Take a look at the final statistics before we sign off here. There you see 3 stars of the game. Of course, I'm the first star of the game, 29 saves and goal. Justin Braun, 1 goal, 1 assist. Second star, Adam Larson, 1 goal and 1 assist. Looks like outshot by Colorado 30-27. And pretty even game between these two teams here. Well, everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of NHL 19. A shout out to my good friend Sigtrot the Gamer, owner of Nuisance Gaming, Nuisance Films. Look for his show to come up, animated series called The Intelligent Wise Man. Looks to be a great series coming up. Hopefully he'll be able to post it soon. It's currently in production. So I hope you've enjoyed this game, everyone. This is Jared Fowler signing off. So long, everyone.